What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Recently, Kevin Cheveldayoff had been talking to the local media here in Winnipeg and, just kind of picking his brain. But of course, the trade deadline came up. As we're at the end of January here. We're going into, February, really the last full month until the trade deadline. So, trade deadline coming up fast. They kind of ask him, Chevy, what are your thoughts on the trade deadline? And, what is your approach going into it? Any of this to say? It's a group that you want to win so badly for. I feel indebted to them for what they've given to the organization and the community. I feel that it is my obligation to try to help them achieve their goals of winning a Stanley Cup. And now, of course, that's what you want to hear from your GM, obviously, right? That's kind of what we expect with the Jets being one of the top teams in the NHL this season. We fully expect Chevy to go out there and make some moves, but Chevy keeps things awfully close to his chest, and I know he didn't say anything, crazy there, but it was just nice to see that he let that slip and, let that out there that, hey, we're going to be going big and we're going to be trying to, go ahead and do something here. Now, I truly believe that, Chevy wants to go make a move, and he's made big moves in the past. Don't forget about the Paul Stastny move, that no one saw coming back, in the 2018 year, where the Jets had, their best season in franchise history. I think it could be, one of those years. Right now, there's not a ton of teams that are out of the playoffs. There's a lot of teams in a logjam right now, and, in the next few weeks, hopefully, for the top teams anyway, teams start to fall out of this and start to, label themselves as sellers, because right now the trade market does kind of seem like it's at a standstill and a lot of teams aren't ready to, fully commit to selling. But I think we are getting to that point soon, and, there are some players out there that I've talked about already. I don't think Elias Pettersson is getting traded anymore. It does sound more and more likely that he's going to stay and that JT Miller is going to be moved. That kind of surprised me a little bit, just with Pettersson not having a no-move clause and JT Miller having a full no-move clause. So it does seem like we're getting, closer and closer to a JT Miller move instead of a Pettersson move. But there are many other guys that, names have popped up already. One of those guys being a Matthew Barzal from the New York Islanders. This is, my golden fish here, my golden goose. I don't know. This would be the most exciting pickup that, of the guys that I've heard are available, as of, the last month or so, the guys' names that have been thrown out there. Of course, we'll see if, he's actually available in the coming months. We'll see where that goes. But if the Jets are able to land a Matt Barzal, that would be absolutely incredible. Now, in the past, Chevy has not been one to trade prospects, or at least his top prospects for that. We very rarely see anybody out of the Jets draft classes get moved in deals. It's very, very rare. And this year, I think that could change because the Jets don't have a lot of draft picks to work with. In recent years, the Jets have had pretty much a full cupboard worth of their picks, as, they're not a team that makes a ton of moves during the season, so usually by trade deadline, they've got their whole stack. This year, it's not like that. They do have their first-round pick, which, will carry some value, but it's going to be a later first-round pick as they are one of the top teams in the league. So it's not the most valuable shelf of draft picks. However, with not trading your prospects, you do have a lot to look at and a lot to move if you so choose to. And I think this could be a year where the Jets look to do that. Now, I'm not suggesting that the Jets are going to be dangling Brad Lambert for a number 5 defenseman or anything like that. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. I'm more so hinting at I think the Jets are looking to use some of their prospects this year to acquire big players. I'm talking impact players like a Matt Barzal. I think Lambert would probably be included in a Barzal package. I could see something like Perfetti and Barzal. I don't really think it's crazy to say that Cole Perfetti could be available, and I'm going to say that for this reason, because in the offseason, Martin Necas was going to be a Winnipeg Jet. They had a deal in place. It kind of sounded like he was coming to Winnipeg, but he wouldn't sign long-term. Who would have been in that package? I really don't think the Jets were moving Gabe Vilardi, right? I kind of wonder if it was Cole Perfetti. I have a really, really strong belief that it was Cole. And, if they're willing to move him in the offseason, last season, maybe they move him now. Maybe they move him now to bring in a player that's maybe producing more now. And they would have Barzal locked up long term. Is Perfetti ever going to reach Matt Barzal's potential? I don't think so, right? Or players of his caliber, not even necessarily just Matt Barzal. But if they go after a guy with the impact and caliber of him, I have no problem if Perfetti's the centerpiece in a deal like that. So that's just my thoughts. I know there's going to be a lot of people that don't like that because, you know, they really like Cole Perfetti. I really like Cole too. Super cool guy. I got to meet him at Joe Daly Sports Cards. Super neat guy. But if it happens, I won't be too disappointed. I do wonder, though, if the Jets do go ahead and have Adam Lowry as their number 2 center, if it's going to be Scheifele, Lowry, and then they trade for a third-line centerman, maybe a scoring centerman to play with, Niederreiter and Perfetti, and then maybe look for a big impact winger to play with Lowry and Ehlers. I kind of wonder if they go that route, if there isn't, a center available, like if Matt Barzal isn't going to be traded, or the price is just way too high for the Jets, then you can pivot and just try to go after maybe the most impactful winger available, the most impactful center at the 3C spot available, and kind of do what the Jets did last year and upgrade multiple spots like they did with Toffoli and Monahan. So we'll see what happens there, but I do think there are some intriguing wingers such as an Oliver Bjorkstrand that, his name's been thrown out there as maybe available. We'll see what Seattle ends up doing if, they're going to consider themselves sellers anytime soon. I think we're headed in that direction. Another team that I wonder about is the Canucks, as really strange to me. They just don't seem to be interested in keeping Brock Besser as a self-rental. I don't know, that's just kind of what I've been hearing, and it kind of just seems more likely than not that they are going to look at possibly moving him if there's a deal they like out there. So, Brock Besser playing with Lowry and Ehlers, that wouldn't be so bad, would it? So that's just my thoughts there. If the Jets do decide to go that direction, which it wouldn't surprise me, they could add big on the wing. If I had any idea what was going on the defense market, I would definitely touch on it, but it doesn't seem like there's really any massive names out there that are available currently. Maybe an Erik Karlsson. I think that would be very fun. There's been reports that, kind of suggesting that he's the most available veteran for the Penguins. I still think it would be expensive, but Karlsson at 34 is still an incredible offensive player. The Jets need a puck mover. This would be your guy. This would be the ultimate puck mover, the ultimate offensive weapon. And if you play him with Dylan Sandberg, maybe that can mask some of his defensive deficiencies, as he is not necessarily, a shutdown D guy. But I would love to have Erik Karlsson on this Jets team for 3 more years at $10 million. That is a steep price, admittedly, yes. However, I'd much rather have a guy like that than, a Seth Jones at $9 million for the next 5 years. I saw his name floating around as well, right? So Erik Karlsson, I think, would be a very fun move. Do I think he gets moved from the Penguins? I really don't see that happening right now. But that's all I got today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. What do you guys think about the Winnipeg Jets right now? Is it time to go all in, or do you think it's time to take a more cautious approach and, get ready for the future? I think it's pretty obvious what they need to be doing right now. I think they need to be going in as, Connor Hellebuck has never played better in his career, and that's saying something for a guy that already has 2 Vezinas. It is time to go. This team is so good. This team is gelling. This team is feeling good right now. Now's the time to bolster this lineup and go for it. I really want to see this team do well. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.